Shatteredheaven. It's a single-player deck builder card game with RPG elements and ambitious branching narrative set in a dark fantasy world. Developers at Keymailer for giving me an early access key, and all I can say is this game has more than enough content to keep you occupied for a very, very, very long time. Starting from the world building, we already have an intense and high fantasy narrative, and only a few have survived the fall of this fallen god. You live in a hostile environment thanks to a terrible curse, where populations are condemned to sleepless nights, infertility, and doomed to die at the age of 40. However, the only way to break this curse is to offer a vestal, that is, from the 4 factions, and a team of valiant guardians or warriors as a sacrifice for a ritual lost in time to fight in the War of Ascension. As for characters, I think that the characters do have great personalities. I think there is a depth of great writing, and rich lore that is here at this current time. I do feel that the introduction could be simplified in terms of lore because the story does take a while to get used to. At the same time, with an emphasis on complicated lore, you can't keep track of who's who and who is doing what. It does need a bit of simplification. Of course, you have the helpful tutorials, you have the helpful world building notes, you have the helpful encyclopedia, you have all of that which you can go and read into. I do feel that a bit more voice acting could really help alleviate some areas, and I would also note that sometimes characters could be a little flat in some areas in some places. In terms of the conflict and the fighting, there's some really good stuff around here as well. You have dynamic deck building, you can build your starting decks, you can customize them, and you can use all types of cards to destroy enemies, and you can use using attack points, etc. You of course have to be careful that you don't lose your heroes, and you also have to make sure that after the battle you get to select some new cards and that they fit your character as well. I really do think that the enemy variation is a little bit low at the current minute. I really do want to see more variety of monsters, and you do fight in procedurally generated dungeons, and you come across dilemmas, you come across stories, and you come across a lot of good things. One of the things I will say is that the conflict and the fighting lends to the story building as well. There's tactical RPG fights and dynamic deck building that adds a element to the story as well. And it does have a branching narrative. You are given plenty of options. The world map is vast, and you will obviously take missions from the Equinox Cathedral and go around the world and complete missions, take loot, and fight against perhaps other guardians as well, or other vestals as well. And as far as I'm concerned, Shatteredheaven is like a 6-hour demo by itself. I've only just played 2 hours of this great demo, and there is so much variation in terms of story, in terms of lore. In fact, for a demo, I'd say this is really worth it. If you haven't tried Shatteredheaven before, you really need to go and try it. If you want to know when this game is releasing, it's releasing within 4 weeks. This 6-hour demo, I believe, is going to be the core basis of what is the early access. You've got 3 heroes, 120 skills and talents, 100 unique events, 110 cards, 4 multi-layer dungeons, and more than 80 enemies. And I believe during the phase of early access, they're going to add a lot more content into this game. And you really need to try out this game, as far as I'm concerned. Give the feedback to the developers. There's a great amount of potential within this single-player rogue RPG deck builder. It has plenty of story, and it has plenty of great music. I think the soundtrack is absolutely excellent, and I would love to buy the soundtrack for this game. It's a really fantastic demo, really fantastic title, and I'm really glad that I tried this out. So do go ahead, wishlist this right now, because this is a fantastic game. And do download the demo. You will definitely have a lot of fun. So don't forget to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.